So I'll just share from my journal that I wrote on what we can learn from Bharat's love for Lord Ram. So as we get senior and as we spend more time in KC, we have to hear more and more the same thing. Because a community thrives when devotees come together and hear. Now there is a very famous pastime of Srila Prabhupada about how a community gets more strengthened when devotees come together, keeping their false egos aside and cooperating with each other by hearing about the Lord. So this is the pastime. Have you heard this famous statement of Srila Prabhupada? Your love for me will be shown by how you cooperate with each other. Yes. But do you know the context to this pastime? Do you know the background to this quote? That is very interesting. This was the last days of Srila Prabhupada. He was on his, he was preparing to leave the world. He was in Vrindavan and devotees were serving him. And one devotee in enthusiasm, young devotee, 20-year-old devotee, he told Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, you take my youth and give me your old age. Because you can do a lot of service. My youth is useless. My body is useless. This is very similar to something in Bhagavatam. Which pastime? Yayati. Yayati wanted to enjoy. He wanted to be young. So his son Puru, he traded his father's old age for youth. So in that mood, this devotee told Prabhupada, Prabhupada, take my youth and let me take your old age. Srila Prabhupada acknowledged his sentiments. So he has a nice mood to serve, to love. He loves me. And that time, Srila Prabhupada made this profound statement. Smiling, Prabhupada said, this is a great sentiment, but your love for me will be shown by how you cooperate with each other. You know what is Prabhupada saying here? Yeah, you want to die for me? That is great. Dying for the Guru is not a big deal. But can you live for me? Can you live cooperatively with each other? Can you do that? Can you cooperate with each other and live, tolerate each other? So that strength we get when we read from the scriptures. And Ramayana and Mahabharata are very special. And as we get senior, we need to hear more and more and more. Sometimes we think, now I know everything. No, just like a pilot. You may have flown a plane for 35 years, but you can't say, I will ignore the ATC guidelines. The air traffic control is making some announcement. You can't say, I don't need all of this. I have flown plane for so many years. No. This body is like a plane and we are the pilot. And our lives that we lead according to Dharma, that is a runway. And Ramayana, sadhus, the scriptures, they are the ATC. Their guidelines we need to hear. So it's very important. So therefore I thank you, Mataji, for giving me a chance to read Ramayana last few days, knowing that I have to speak on Bharat's love for Lord Ram. Then I read, reflected, and I wrote something. So I'm going to share that. So I also want to, at this point of time, appreciate my godbrother Shubh Vilas Prabhu. I heard his class also on Ramayana, very nourishing. So Bharat is beautifully compared in the Sri Vaishnava literature to Krishna's flute. Just like Krishna has a flute, and this Krishna's flute has two special qualities. One is, it is never separated from Krishna. And second, the flute exists only to give happiness to Krishna. Similarly, Bharat is never separated from Lord Ram in his consciousness. He is always with Lord Ram. And second, why does he exist? To give happiness to Lord Ram. So, Ramayana is a very beautiful scripture because Ramayana teaches us how every character in Ramayana, every hero, every person who's serving Lord Ram is making a sacrifice. Like when Lord Ram and Sita and Lakshman were in the exile, Lord Ram would always walk in the front. Mother Sita would be in the middle. And Lakshman would be in the rear. So when Lord Ram walked, he would always walk on the thorns and kick them aside so that Mother Sita and Lakshman can walk nicely without any disturbance. But Mother Sita would not want to step on Lord Ram's footprints. So she would walk a little aside and she would take the thorns on her feet. And then Lakshman worshipped Mother Sita and her lotus feet. So he would not step on her footprints. He would walk still further side. That way he also took thorns. So this was the mood of the characters in Ramayana, taking pain, taking suffering in the mood of service. Unfortunately, many of us, we have grown up in a culture where we are taught to escape pain. From childhood, we are learning how to get more happiness, how to reduce suffering. But spiritual advancement cannot happen unless we learn how to embrace pain. Because Krishna will hollow us out. He will remove all our false identities that we have. You know, the false ego, the identities we have, I'm good, beautiful, rich, intelligent, etc. Krishna removes all those false designations from our consciousness, which is the false ego. Like I was sharing one example. In some Ayurvedic treatment, they make you go through 5-6 days of intense purification and detox. They make you go through enema and they give you laxatives and they flush out things from your system, which has been undigested and kept for. In fact, some of the things that come out is, the last year pizza you ate comes out. It just pulls you, takes out everything, hollows you out from your intestine. Sab nikal deta hai. So Krishna also will give us pain, suffering, of course through his material energy, because Krishna wants us to become free of all the false designations. Because Krishna wants us to move from mechanical bhakti to emotional bhakti to finally real bhakti, which is free of any ulterior motive. Mechanical bhakti is what? We chant Hare Krishna to finish our rounds. That is mechanical bhakti. Emotional bhakti is we chant Hare Krishna to be happy. Have you heard this? Chant Hare Krishna and be happy. This was Prabhupada's famous statement. He said this to draw us in. Come in to bhakti. Come inside bhakti. Chant Hare Krishna and be happy. So we thought if I chant Hare Krishna, I'll be happy. So many of us were attracted to ISKCON because we wanted to be happy. Earlier we were ritualistic Hindus. Mechanical bhakti is just doing the rituals. Finishing rounds in Hare Krishna, that is mechanical bhakti. Emotional bhakti is, wow, Kirtan was so good. The Sangha is so nice. I feel so good. I get goosebumps during Kirtan. Wow, Prasadam was so nice. Oh, the deity darshan is so nice. All this is emotional bhakti. Chant Hare Krishna and be happy. So many of us oscillate between mechanical bhakti and emotional bhakti. The real bhakti is chant Hare Krishna and make Krishna happy. Bhakti is all about Krishna, but we don't understand that so much. We prefer chant Hare Krishna and be happy. It's all about my happiness. But same Srila Prabhupada in the end of Chaitanya Charitamrita very emphatically says that the goal of Krishna consciousness is to make Krishna happy. And Ramayana is filled with this mood. Lord Ram is my master. Krishna is my master. See, many of us, we exist for sense gratification. Then we come to Hare Krishna, we say, I can't give up sense gratification, but along with sense gratification, I'll also add service to Krishna. That is the second stage. But actual advancement happens when we only exist for the sense gratification of Krishna. So like that, first stage is everything is for me. Second stage is something for me and something for Krishna. And third stage is only for Krishna. So we have to somehow go there. All for me, nothing for Krishna. That is the lowest stage. Then the stage we are all in is something for me, something for Krishna. But the actual advancement is all for Krishna. And Ramayana exemplifies this mood. And who are the characters who embody this mood? Bharat, Lakshman, Shatrughna, Hanuman, Sita, and I said Bharat. Somebody very special whom I missed out. I mentioned Hanuman also. Hanuman, Bharat, Lakshman, Sita, Jatayu. I was waiting, somebody will say Jatayu. But today we will study Bharat's character. So I'm just fast forwarding because Ramayana is never ending. You can go on and on for hours. In the limited time, we are focusing on Bharat's love for Lord Ram. So Dasharath Maharaj has left this world in great sadness and separation from Krishna. So at this time, Vashishta, who is Vashishta? The guru of Ram and Dasharath Maharaj. He is the Kul Guru. He is the guru for the entire dynasty. So he sends messengers, go to Kushadwaja kingdom and call Bharat and Shatrughna. But don't tell them that Dasharath Maharaj is no more. Don't give them the bad news. So the soldiers come there. And Bharat immediately is having nightmares, bad dreams. So he looks at his messengers and he suspects something is wrong. He says, is everything all right? Now look at the dilemma of the soldiers who come to take them. They can't say the reason. At the same time, they can't lie to their to-be king. So you know what they say? They say, oh Prince, we can only say that Lady Fortune, the goddess of fortune is smiling upon you. Please come. Because he's going to be the king now. And he understands this is bad news. Something terrible has happened. But he tries to be positive. Oh, I think Dasharath Maharaj is calling us back because he wants to appoint Lord Ram, my brother Ram as king. So it's very good news. He keeps telling himself, be positive. So he comes. And as soon as he comes, he sees the Ayodhya streets are very gloomy. Everything is closed. And he rushes to his mother Kaikeyi's room. And he's shocked to see her. And he says, my dear mother, what has happened? Where is my father? Where is Ram? What has happened? And Mother Kaikeyi says very insensitively, in the Ramayana, there is a verse. She says, my dear son, your father is not here. Where is he? He has gone to the same place where animals and birds go after death. So Bharat, what? Father is dead. He starts crying. And at that time, Kaikeyi speaks the Bhagavad Gita philosophy. She says, oh, there is nothing to lament on death. We are not the body, we are the soul. See, Bhagavad Gita philosophy, anybody can speak. In Bhagavatam, 7th canto, we find Hiranyakashipu speaking this philosophy. And he gives beautiful examples also. But, we have to remember, it's not what is spoken, who speaks is also important. The character is important than the content. That's why in the Bhagavatam classes, have you ever heard speakers say, so we say, as Prahlad Maharaj says, we are not the body, we are the soul. We may give this example. But do we say, as Hiranyakashipu says in the 7th canto, that we are not the body and we have to transcend? No, we don't give that name because that name is immediately synonymous with a bad character. So Kaikeyi gives profound wisdom on the soul, but we don't say, as Mother Kaikeyi explains in the Ramayana, that we have to transcend bodily designation. We don't give that example because character is as important as the content. So anyway, so Bharat is not able to hear what Mother Kaikeyi is saying and he's very upset. He says, father is dead. I'm so sad. I want to go to Ram and meet him. I want to go to my brother. And she says, no, my dear son, Ram is not here. Where is he? He has gone to the forest. He has been sent to the forest for 14 years. And Bharat says, what? What crime has he done? Because during those days, the highest punishment was capital punishment. He would be sentenced to death. And very close to that, the second grade was to be banished to the forest for 14 years. That was considered as equivalent to capital punishment. So what is the crime? He is perfect gentleman. He follows all dharma. How can he be sent to forest? Who did this? And that time, Kaikeyi says, I did this, my dear son, so that you could be the king. Now, Kaikeyi is all the time thinking that her son would be very happy with this news. Because she was doing it for him, not for herself. She thought like that. Actually, Some other day we'll discuss the entire conversation between Manthara and Kaikeyi. It was all about, actually, Kaikeyi's mind changes when Manthara starts playing on the natural rivalry that existed between the queens. She starts saying, when Ram becomes the king, then Kaushalya will get more favors. Till now, the king was always coming to you every night. You are his most dear queen. But now when Ram becomes the king, Kaushalya will get favor and you will be snubbed in favor of Kaushalya. So then Kaikeyi becomes very insecure. All that is there. But outwardly she is saying, no, I want my Bharat to be the king. He deserves to be the king. So when Bharat realizes that his mother has plotted this entire thing, conspiracy, he first falls unconscious. Then he wakes up and he says, what have you done? Are you out of your mind? You have put a garland of scorpions on my neck. You have fed me deadly poison while giving me a cup of nectar. What happiness does a scorpion get when it comes out of the mother and kills the own mother? If I accept this kingdom as you wish, it is like killing my own parent, Lord Ram. Then Bharat looks at his mother with disgust. He says, can a dead body rule any kingdom? I have died the moment you said that Ram has been banished to the forest. Without Ram, if I become the king, it is like a man sitting on the branch of a tree and cutting that very branch. When you remove water from the pond, the fishes die. If Ram has left this pond of Ayodhya, then I am that fish who will die. The moment I sit on this throne as you desire, O wicked mother, I will get all the sins of killing my father Dasharath Maharaj and the banishment of Ram. You have given me a gift of infamy. And he starts lamenting. Today I disown you. I refuse to call you as my mother. You are a wicked woman. Like that, he starts cursing his own mother. And then he says, but I'm surprised, shocked. You love Ram so much. So how can you do this? Kaikeyi had a very beautiful name in the Ramayana. Before this episode, she was called as Sulochini. Anybody knows the meaning of the word Sulochini? This was a very beautiful name given to her by all the residents of Ayodhya. She was very popular. You know what is the meaning of Sulochini? Yes, one who has beautiful eyes is called Sulochini. And why she had beautiful eyes? Was she really beautiful eyes in the sense, was it material beautiful eyes? She was said to have the most beautiful eyes because the first thing she saw in the morning was Ram. She was very attached to Ram. She could not see anything or anyone else other than Ram. That's how attached she was. That's why she was called Sulochini. And now Bharat starts calling her as Kulochini, one with bad eyes. There is a very beautiful pastime in Tulsi Ramayana that Kaikeyi's palace was the most beautiful palace in Ayodhya. Those of you who have been to Ayodhya, you will see there is a palace called Kanak Mahal, close to the Ram Mandir, Ram Lala temple. Kanak Mahal is a beautiful palace. Even today, it is one of the most popular places to visit in Ayodhya. It is a place of Mother Kaikeyi. But you know what is interesting about that palace? That when Ram got married to Sita, and then they came to Ayodhya from Mithila, there was great celebration in Ayodhya. So Mother Kaikeyi is standing outside the palace of Kanak Mahal, her palace, and they are offering, Ram and Sita offer obeisances to the Mother Kaikeyi for blessings. And Mother Kaikeyi is so happy, she embraces Ram and Sita, and then she pulls them inside the Mahal and she comes out. She says, from today, this palace is yours. That was the most beautiful palace in Ayodhya because Dasharath Maharaj was extremely fond of Kaikeyi. He would shower her with the best gifts, most opulences, and her own palace she gives it to Ram. And now see what has happened, what has transpired. So Bharat starts shouting at his mother. He says, can a calf lift the burden that has to be carried by a heavy, big bull? I'm a calf. How can I carry the burden of this kingdom? Oh, wicked woman, I will ensure that none of your desires get fulfilled. Now, Kaikeyi starts seeing that the results are completely opposite of what she had envisaged. Valmiki Muni explains that Kaikeyi had a problem from childhood. See, her mother died when she was a young girl. So who raised her? Manthara. Manthara played the role of a caretaker mother. And Manthara was a personality who felt a lot of security in perishable things. She always sought security and happiness through things and objects of this world which will vanish. And she was giving association to Kaikeyi. Ideally, a mother, when she is raising a child, she should cultivate an abundant heart. She should seek security in values, honesty, gratitude, appreciation, rather than things. But Manthara, she was very parochial-minded, very narrow-minded, and she was growing up with a scarcity mindset, not an abundant mentality. And that entered Kaikeyi also, and now it is getting fructified. It's very, very important actually. That's how Kaikeyi also became a victim of this. Because Kaikeyi was influenced by Manthara. That's why it said that pregnant mothers, pregnant women, they should remember this incident and focus on permanent things and values more than things of this world. That's why during the pregnancy period, the women, they read Ramayana, Mahabharata, they connect to the values of sacrifice, love, dedication given in Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavatam, pure devotional service. That's why you see Gandhari, when she heard that Kunti has given birth first, what did she do? She hit her womb out of frustration. And that had an effect later also on Duryodhana's consciousness. His self-image was disturbed. He felt always threatened and insecure from the Pandavas. So a mother's consciousness affects the child. I've got many stories actually for some other day. I've seen so many examples of children. They are so special. And then when you trace back this, you come to know what kind of upbringing they had and how the mothers played a pivotal role in shaping their future. So anyway, Bharat could not believe what Kaikeyi had done. And so he was saying, basically, now the whole result is opposite for what Kaikeyi had. So he starts shouting at her again and again, have you gone mad? What have you done? He starts covering his face and starts shaking his head. And then he says, oh, vile woman, you have heaped one calamity after another upon me and this entire kingdom. And then suddenly he became angry. He said, your actions are unforgivable. You have appeared in our family as the night of universal dissolution. What impelled you to exile Ram? As he was shouting, Kaikeyi started panicking. Because the whole reaction of Bharat was not according to her expectation. So she was aghast at his response. So she blurted out, actually Manthara convinced me. So Manthara's name, till that time nobody knew why Kaikeyi changed. Now Manthara she mentioned Manthara's name. And she told the whole thing that happened. And then she said, Bharat, I did this with all your interest in mind. I wanted to make you happy. Bharat said, happy? I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed of you. What on earth has possessed you? You always loved Ram more than me. And Ram always served you more than he served his own mother Kaushalya. I will immediately go to the forest and bring him back. Then he looked at Kaikeyi with disgust. And he said, you will reside in hell forever. Imagine saying this to your own mother. That much he loved Ram. I desert you. You are neither my mother nor the emperor's wife. You are undoubtedly a wicked Rakshasi who has come in disguise to destroy our race. You should swallow poison or jump into a deadly fire or go to the forest. After saying this, Bharat was disgusted with his mother Kaikeyi, and then he rushed out of the palace and he began to run full speed. Where do you think he was running to? Anybody knows? Yes, he ran first to Mother Kaushalya. As soon as he went to her, she embraced him. She smiled and embraced him and then pushed him aside. She said, "Oh Bharat, now your plans are fulfilled. Now you are happy. Please send me also to the forest. I want to go there and be with my son Ram." Because she also suspected Bharat was a part of this conspiracy. And Bharat starts crying. He says, "My dear mother, if I have desired this kingdom, let all the sins committed by all the human beings on this planet, all of it, let it come to me." And then the way he starts crying and pleading that he wants to go to the forest and bring back Ram, then Mother Kaushalya gets convinced that Bharat is innocent. And then she starts saying beautiful verses where she says, "I am convinced that a day may come in future when the moon may stop giving cool rays and instead give poison rays. A day may come in future that ice may start creating fire. Fish may give up water and start living on land. And a situation may arise when people do spiritual activities and don't get results for it. These things can happen, but my Bharat will never abandon service to Ram." That's a certificate she gives. So that's Shatrughna. Shatrughna gets surprised. He says, "Lakshman was here with Ram. Why didn't he stop this cruel act?" That's a very reasonable question. Now, he doesn't know the whole background story. But as he asks about Lakshman, his eyes fall upon Manthara. Manthara was, now, there's a whole description of how she was dressed. She was dressed with fine jewelry and she was beaming. She was very happy. So Lakshman loses it, He gets very angry. He rushes to Manthara, drags her by the hair, throws her on the ground and starts kicking her. He wants to kill her. And she screams. She says, "Oh Kaikeyi, help me. Save me." And Kaikeyi runs to Bharat. "Please stop Shatrughna from killing Manthara. She is innocent." So then Bharat stops Shatrughna and says, "Shatrughna, stop what you are doing to Manthara. I would have done that myself to my own mother Kaikeyi. But I won't do it because that is not pleasing to Lord Ram." And that time Kaikeyi is devastated. She realizes the gravity of her folly. Till then she was confused, not sure. But when Bharat says that he would have killed his own mother, Kaikeyi realizes she had done a big mistake. She starts regretting, she starts crying, and then she realizes how Manthara, she doesn't even blame Manthara. She takes full responsibility for the thing. She says, "It's my fault, Bharat." And she cries. She says, "I'm extremely sorry and we will do whatever it takes to bring Ram back." So then, it was night. So Vashishta says, "Now we should take rest." Bharat, Vashishta is now the head priest and he says, Bharat should be the king now because everything is past, everything is done. The resolution is past, everything is done now. So Bharat goes to sleep at night and morning, in those days, the kings would be woken up by the servants with the conch shell, and there's a particular way you blow the conch shell. And there's certain things you do, rituals, chanting of mantras, and that's the way the king is woken up. All that was done for Dasharath Maharaj. Now Bharat sleeps at night, and just before he wakes up, the same rituals are performed for Bharat. Now he is sleeping. So as soon as he hears this, he wakes up. And immediately he shouts, "No, stop this. This is only for my brother Ram. He is the king. I am not the king." So Vashishta becomes very happy. He says, "You have passed the sleep test." Because when you are fast asleep, and then when you are tested, what is there in your subconscious comes out. See, when you are conscious, you are in the best of your social behavior, the social niceties. Hare Krishna Prabhu, we are very nice and kind. But when we are provoked, or when we are unconscious, and then suddenly, we were few devotees, brahmacharis, and one of them is a very saintly, sweet, soft-spoken brahmachari. We were all in a bus in Vrindavan going from one place to another, and we were exhausted and tired, and we had not eaten anything for many hours, and in the evening we were coming back to Vrindavan through those forest roads, And suddenly the driver put on brakes and the bus stopped with a full force, and we were all tired and exhausted and we were all woken up. And this brahmachari of all people, we were shocked. He started hurling expletives at the driver. He started using swear words and started shouting. And after 10 seconds, he realized what he was doing. And he looked at everyone and everyone is like, you? And then very sheepishly sat down apologizing. And then he said, it's not your fault. You failed the sleep test. But Bharat Maharaj passed the sleep test. That means even in sleep he was alert to the mood that I am servant of Ram. That means he didn't even have a subtle desire. Sometimes internally we have a desire, but externally we present. That's what politicians say, I'm servant of this party and all that, but they all are aspiring to be the prime minister, like that. So then Vashishta conducts another test. He says, I am Guru of this kingdom. I am Guru of your father also. And now I am your Guru also. I am ordering you, accept this kingdom because it is appropriate. Because you did not scheme for the kingdom. Providence has arranged this for you. And you can't go against Providence. Because it's not your fault. You have been given this. And Bharat Maharaj says beautiful sentence that time. He says, if I accept this kingdom, it is like a naked man being decorated with beautiful jewelry. What is the use of beautiful jewelry when you are naked? Somebody is very sick and has no appetite and you give him chappan bhog offering. I am sick, I have no appetite and you are feeding me this kingdom. My accepting this kingdom is like devotees in Hare Krishna chanting japa without feeling. He doesn't say devotees in Hare Krishna, but he says chanting of mantras without feeling. And he says, this is the most beautiful statement in Ramayana. He says, I am property of Ram. And this kingdom is a property of Ram. Can one property rule another property? Can one thing possess another thing? Like, can this kartal control the watch? Both are things. So he says, I am also a property of Lord Ram. Whatever way he wants to use me, I want to be a puppet in his hands. I cannot take his position. And then he says, if I accept this kingdom, the earth will be split. And Puru took the old age of his father. He sacrificed his youth for his father. And look at me. I am sacrificing others for my kingdom, for my enjoyment. I am making others suffer for my... I am contaminated with the murder of my father. And the tears of Ayodhya Vasis, I am responsible for it. So like that, he starts speaking many verses in the Ayodhya Kand. You can read later. Gita Press, Gorakhpur. Even ValmikiRamayana.net has all the 24,000 verses, word-to-word meaning and translation. And in some places there are purports also. ValmikiRamayana.net is the best resource on Ramayana available in English. Because every word of the Ramayana, the meanings are given. And it's very, very user-friendly. You can get everything there. So after all this, Vashishta is very happy. He says, my dear Bharat, your Gurukul training is a success. The training I gave you, the teacher is very happy when the student passes all these tests. He says, this is the best Guru Dakshina you have given me of wanting to get Ram back. And he says, I was affected by poison, Vashishta says, and you have given me the best anti-venom by your mood. So he says, Bharat, it is most appropriate for you to be the king, but because of your desire, we will all go and get Ram. So I think they wait for 14 days, complete all the formalities for the Sharat Maharaj's final rites, and then all the ministers led by Vashishta Rishi, they all tell Bharat again one final time, Bharat, the kingdom is yours. Please accept the throne. You have not done any sin. You are a rightful heir to the throne. And you know what Bharat does? He doesn't argue this time. He quietly walks up to the throne. And guess what he does? Does he sit on it? He circumambulates the throne. and he offers obeisances. And then he gets up and declares, I shall never accept the throne. We shall all go to the forest and get Ram, Lakshmana and Sita back. And as he says this with emphatic roar, the whole kingdom, everybody is in jubilation. And everyone is enlivened at the prospect of getting Sita, Ram, Lakshmana back. And they leave. And Sumantra first orders all the architects, engineers to build roads. And in 1 month, everything is constructed actually. And the whole city of Ayodhya is now going to which place? Chitrakoot, to get Sita and Ram and Lakshmana back. And as they are going, whom do they first meet? Guha. Who is Guha? He is a tribesman king and from the tribes, and he is from a lower caste, and he was a very close friend of Ram. So Lord Ram and they were very good friends. So Guha looks at Bharat and he says, you have come to kill Ram. He accuses him that you are not satisfied of sending him to the forest. And he's shocked. But Guha is shocked because Guha is a lower caste. Bharat is a king. And he's also Kshatriya. But you know what Bharat does? He touches the feet of Guha because you are my older brother's best friend. That means you are my older brother. Guha is shocked. He had not expected this. And he starts crying. He realizes Bharat is innocent just by this one act. And then, so Guha is convinced and he says, you know what he tells Bharat? He says, Ram is not as glorious as you. You are more glorious than even Ram. You are 1 in a billion because Ram was banished. He had no choice. You had a choice to enjoy the kingdom, but still you gave it up. That's a difference. See, if I'm told, if you tell me right now, Prabhu, you should not eat samosas, jalebis and pizzas. And I'll say, yes, I give up samosa, jalebis and pizza. Hari bol. It's easy for me to say that. But if you keep hot pizza in front of me, samosas and jalebis, and then you say, then will I be able to say, I give up samosa, jalebi? No, then it's very difficult, right? When I'm traveling, sometimes devotees want to give prasad. So I tell them, I'm not taking dinner. So what they do, sometimes they get dinner and they say, no, you don't have to eat. We're just telling you. But I tell them before, don't even tell me that there is prasad. Because I'm not so sense controlled. So the point I'm saying is, if you are told not to eat, you can say, I will not eat. But when you have it in front of you, and then you give it up, that's real renunciation. So Ram did not have the kingdom, he was sent. So Guha is saying, okay, he renounced. But you have been given. And it's dharma yukta also. And still you are giving up. Now earlier he was criticized, Bharat, you are not affected. Now when he is praised also he is not affected because he was more focused on getting Ram back. See, Bharat was not wavered by, Acha, you are appreciating me, or you are criticizing me. He was not. In fact, those who criticized him in Ayodhya, he took their help also because he was focused on getting Ram back. In a community, we sometimes take our egos so seriously. We don't realize the higher vision, the higher purpose, Prabhupada's mission. So those who are focused on the bigger picture, they take all those small taunts, comments, they don't take it so seriously. So then they all go to get Bharat, and whom they meet next? Anybody knows? Bharadwaj Rishi. Bharadwaj Rishi also suspects. Then his suspicion also goes away when he sees Bharat's sincerity. And he tells all of them, now take some rest, have some nice prasad. He had some mystical power. He creates fantastic facilities for everybody's recreation. Bharat doesn't avail of any of those facilities. And the Ayodhya Vasis, they start enjoying all the feast, the music, the dance. It's like a big carnival. And some of them say, it is so nice, let us stay here only. Let Bharat go and get Ram. They get distracted by the temptations and the enjoyment. So Ramayana teaches us how that even if you have a glorious vision and purpose, when temptations and distractions come, we can easily get dissuaded. But Bharat was not at all dissuaded. And there was a beautiful throne there in the tent for Bharat. It was understood that Bharat would go and sit there. It was for Bharat. Bharat walks up to it and picks up a chamar and starts fanning it as if Ram would be sitting there. So like that. And then he's introducing all the people to Bharadwaj Rishi. And when he's introducing Mother Kaikeyi, he says, she is the source of my misery and the killer of her husband. That's how he introduces Mother Kaikeyi. And that time Bharadwaj Rishi corrects him. He says, Bharat, please throw away this anger. This is like burning coal. She is your mother and she is atoning, she is repenting for her mistake. And that after that Bharat stops chastising his mother. See, this is all Ramayana, I'm just speaking, cut paste from here and there. I'm not, but if you read it with feeling, if you read it slowly, or you hear from bona fide speakers, there will be so much emotional churning in the heart that you may forget Krishna. Ramayana, you get absorbed, this Krishna sweet pastime get transformed into the sacrifice and emotional churning in the heart of Ramayana. Ramayana has got something very special. So meanwhile, now they are coming towards Chitrakoot. A lot of dust is raised by their travel. And Ram is in his hermitage with Sita and Lakshman. He tells Lakshman, there's a lot of dust raised. Can you climb the tree and see what is happening? And Lakshman climbs the tree and he says, oh, I see Kovidara sign. Kovidara sign is the sign of the Ayodhya kings, Raghukul dynasty. So the army from Ayodhya has come. Oh, brother. And you know what Ram says? Oh, our army has come. See, Lakshman was seeing duality. Oh, army of Ayodhya and we are different. He was living in duality. Friend, enemy. But Ramayana reveals many verses very, very nonchalantly like this, where Ram's impartisan nature is revealed. Lakshman says, Ayodhya's army has come. And Ram says, oh, our army has come. So Ram doesn't see it as in duality. He sees oneness. He doesn't see it as separate. And Lakshman roars, the wicked Kaikeyi has sent this army to kill you. And today I will kill everyone. First I will kill Bharat. Then I will kill Kaikeyi and the entire Kamagiri mountain. Chitrakoot, they were staying at Kamagiri mountain. The entire Kamagiri mountain, which is beautiful and green, will now be turning red. Today I will pay off my debts to my bow and arrows. And Ayodhya, Bharat is not satisfied by getting the kingdom. Power corrupts. He is now obsessed with killing you. Look at the speculation. Lakshman is into all of this. And Ram says, Lakshman, you are right. Ram agrees with Lakshman. He says, power corrupts. It happens, but there is a big difference, Lakshman, Lord Ram says. It could happen that darkness created by clouds can be so powerful that it can completely dwarf the afternoon sun. It is even possible that the mountain Meru could be shaken by winds and cyclones. It's also possible that Mother Earth may give up her tolerance. But Bharat can never be corrupted by power. He is a Paramahamsa. You know what is the speciality of a swan? Paramahamsa. What is Paramahamsa? Why? What is the special quality of Paramahamsa? Prabhupada writes in Teachings of Queen Kunti. Yes, it can separate milk from water. So Ram says, Bharat's sense of discrimination will never be abandoned. He will know what is corruption, what is power politics, and what is saintliness. You are accusing me, O Lakshman, when you are accusing Bharat. If it is you who wants a kingdom, I will ask Bharat to give you. You can go and stay in Ayodhya and let Bharat stay with me here in the forest. And Lakshman becomes very embarrassed, ashamed. And then Bharat and Shatrughna and everybody comes to meet Ram, and he is dressed in Valkal. You know that sap from the banyan tree. Bharat had used to tie his hair, and he had also dressed in renunciant robes. So then Ram is shocked to see him like that, and he asks him, why have you done this? Bharat says, our father is no more. And Ram immediately starts wailing and looks at Lakshman and Sita and says, Lakshman, your father is no more. Oh, Sita, your father-in-law is no more. He doesn't say, my father is passed away, because the Acharyas explain, he always felt the presence of his father in the love that he got from Lakshman and Sita. So he was always feeling the presence of Dasharath Maharaj. And then after this, Bharat Maharaj, after offering obeisances, he says, I have got the kingdom of Ayodhya. Now I offer it to you, O my dear brother Ram. Please accept it and rule the kingdom of Ayodhya. Everybody is waiting for you. He says, I got it. Now I am giving it to you. So Ram says, no. It belongs to you and you should rule. And then Bharat says, me ruling? This kingdom is like a donkey replacing a horse. Can a crow take the place of Garuda? Ram says, destiny is very powerful. You can't change. Time is very powerful. Bharat says, no. Time may be powerful, but is it not the duty of the children to correct the mistake made by the father? Is it not a son's responsibility to correct? Ram says, yes. But our father did not make a mistake. Because when he announced this division, his senses were intact. He was not sick. And remember, Bharat, our father told your grandfather, maternal grandfather, that your mother's son, Kaikeyi's son, would be the king. He had promised her. Ram says, so he says, but Bharat says, this is injustice. You are the oldest. You should be the king. Ram says, it is not injustice. There is complete fairness in our father's division. He has made both of us kings. He has made you the king of humans. He has made me the king of animals. He has given you the city to rule. And our father has mercifully given me the forest to rule. He has given you a son of Sumitra to assist, Shatrughna. He has given me another son of Sumitra, Lakshman, to assist me. And he has given you a white umbrella, which is the umbrella over the king's head. And he has given me a green umbrella, the entire forest, the trees. So both have got justice. Bharat says, but my dear brother, you are a Kshatriya, you are a king, you are dressed as a sannyasi. Give up these robes. Come and do your duty as a Kshatriya. Let us swap. I will come to the forest and spend 14 years. And Ram, you know what he did? Any guesses what he did at this moment? What did Bharat say now? What is the offer, proposal Bharat gives just now? What did I say? So he says, I will stay in the forest instead of you for 14 years. You go to the kingdom. So that time, what does Ram do? Ram smiles. And what do you think he does? He looks at Lakshman. Why? Why? Because a few moments before this, what did Lakshman say? That Bharat is coming to kill you. So Ram looks at Lakshman, and Lakshman had speculated, and Lakshman hears this, he starts crying. And at that time, Lord Ram declares that to render service, one doesn't need any position. I have my bow and arrow. I can continue to do my service. I don't need to be a king. And my dear Bharat, charity can never be reversed. The king has given you the kingdom and he has made a decision and I can't change it. It is wrong to change our father's division. If he was alive, we could have discussed. But now we have to honor his division because he is no more. At that time, one very wise sage, Jabali, who was well versed in scriptures, who was as good as Vashishta, in that assembly, because Ram kept quoting dharma, scriptures, so Jabali says, all these dharma scriptures are bogus. They are written by Brahmanas who just wanted to earn a good livelihood. All this is bogus. Ram, come back and enjoy the kingdom. Don't quote scriptures. Everybody is shocked. What's wrong with Jabali? In his desperation to get Ram, he starts denouncing the very scriptures which he has been following for so long. So Ram says, oh Jabali Rishi, have you gone crazy? The world will be under ruination if we discard the dharma. And then Jabali starts crying. You come back, Ram, come back. So then everybody understands he was not against the scripture. It is just that he was desperate for Ram to come back. He says, oh Ram, our Ayodhya has become a ghost town. Please come back. Now Vashishta, you know what he had ordered Bharat earlier? To become the king. Now he tells Ram the same thing. He says, I am your guru. I am your father's guru. I order you come back, and you cannot refuse a guru's order. What do you think, Ram? How do you think Ram must have responded? Any answers? Very logical question. Logical announcement order by Vashishta. So Ram says, yes, but I will follow your order in line. First, I will honor the order of my father and mother. So like that. So then Bharat starts telling all the citizens, please convince my brother to come back. And they look at Bharat and say, if you can't convince him, how can we convince him? So then he says, I will fast unto death. He sits there and Ram lifts him and says, you are a Kshatriya. You should not go on such fasting. And Bharat starts crying and he falls at Ram's feet. He says, I cannot accept this. Please, please accept the kingdom. And seeing Bharat's sincerity, Ram finally says, yes, I accept this kingdom and I will rule this, but not now. After 14 years, I will come back. And then Bharat says, even if you are 1 minute late, I will end my life. And then Bharat says, I won't rule the kingdom. So he adds these padukas and he makes Lord Ram wear them. And then he takes those padukas, they are like footwear, and he puts it on his head and he takes it to Ayodhya. And he places the padukas on the throne. And he says, Lord Ram's footwear will rule the kingdom. I will not be the ruler. I will be the servant of these padukas. And where does he stay, Bharat? Anybody knows? He stays outside Ayodhya at a place called Nandigram. And he makes a small hut. He doesn't stay on the ground. He doesn't sleep on the ground. Because Lord Ram is sleeping on the ground. So he digs a hole and he sleeps in that hole because he wants to be lower than Lord Ram. Lord Ram was eating a lot of fruits in the forest, variety of fruits. He says, I don't want such variety of fruits. I will perform a bigger austerity. Because I can't see Ram performing that austerity. So Bharat eats 14 years, he eats only barley soaked in cow urine. And he would take bath at 2:30 a.m. That time, in the early morning, he would go to Sarayu and take a dip. And in winter, it is said that Ramayana describes that in winter, the Sarayu river would be so cold that elephants, when they would come to take bath in the afternoon, they would immediately come out because the cold would be so intense. And here, he is going at 2 a.m. And his logic was, he said, I should go early in the morning and take bath because I am a sinful wretch. Because of me, Lord Ram has been sent away. I don't want any Ayodhya Vasis to see me early in the morning and spoil their day. So Mother Kaikeyi also wants to perform austerities. She also comes to Bharat and says, I will stay with you here. And Bharat Maharaj gives a very interesting instruction. He says, yes, you should perform austerity. And what is your austerity? You know what austerity he tells Mother Kaikeyi to perform? To stay in the palace. He says, you stay in the palace and let the walls, the windows, the pillars, the chandeliers, the beds, let the opulence of the palace remind you every moment for the next 14 years that it was because of your greed and desire that our beloved Ram has been exiled into the forest. That is your austerity. So Bharat Maharaj accepted the job of a king. He performed all his services and duties, responsibilities, but he took no facility, no reward, no position. We generally like position, but not service. So this is Bharat's glory. I had the fortune of going on Chitrakoot Yatra in the year 2000, December. 5-6 of brahmacharis went. We were staying in that Arvind Matatlal's ashram there, very simple ashram. And we went on a parikrama, and there we saw one Babaji in a small hut reading Ramcharitmanas, 90-year-old. He was in his own world, not bothered about the world. He was chanting. This Tulsi Ramayana is a beautiful meter in which you sing. He was oblivious to the external world. We were attracted by him. We went there and we sat. And he was chanting, and then in his typical local language, Maithili, I think some language they speak there, Brij Vasha, Avadi, I think. So he spoke to us, he told us to sit here, Ram Katha. But we were getting late. And then Gauranga Prabhu told Shamanand Prabhu, we didn't want to offend that Babaji also. So almost 1 hour, this Babaji, like a typical simple villager who doesn't know anything about the city. He's in his own world, reading Ramayana and speaking in that Hindi of that local dialect. And when we wanted to go, but we didn't want to offend him, so Gaurang Prabhu was telling Shyamanand Prabhu in English, Prabhu, we're getting late, we need to leave now. Can we please leave? And we were shocked. This Babaji, till now he was simply reading Ramayana. He looked at us and in pure British English, he said something like, this is not the way to honor scriptures. Please have a reverential mood towards Tulsi Ramayana. You are young men who come from cities. Please have regard for Tulsi Ramayana. And when he said that, we were like, he knows English. And not broken English, it's very sophisticated English. And then again he put on his glasses and continued to read Ramayana. We were like, who is he? But then his servant came and he said, Arey, our Baba, the servant didn't know English. He said, our Babaji is 94-year-old. Last 40 years he is here. And before this, he was in the PMO. PMO is Prime Minister's office. He was the Chief Secretary, which is like, the top job in India. IAS, I don't know if you know IAS, Indian Administrative Service, is like the most prestigious job in India. And whoever is a topper in that exam, like millions of people appear for that exam and they are the top cadre, and the top, they get into the Prime Minister's office. They are like managing the most sensitive areas of Indian government. So he was in that department. So at a certain age, he left everything. He fulfilled all his worldly responsibilities and he took shelter of Chitrakoot Dham. And he was serving there. And we fell at his feet, we begged forgiveness. And you know what he did? He started crying. He said, Bharat. And he quoted one verse. I don't remember that verse. He said, the meaning of that verse is, 100 Ram can become equal to 1 Bharat. Like that. And he had given his life to serve Bharat. He says, Bharat is my worshipable Lord, because he is serving the Lord in the mood of servant. I want to serve Lord Ram like Bharat is serving Lord Ram, like that. And he was constantly crying, remember. So, many times you go to the holy places, we'll be misled by the external appearances of these Babajis. I remember in Vrindavan once, I and Shyamanand Prabhu saw one Babaji who's, all the time serving, painting these trees. Shri Radha, he would write in all the trees. He would go with this paint. And then one day, we saw him for 3-4 days. One day we thought we'll talk to him and we picked up a conversation and we realized, my God, he was a very successful businessman for Delhi. He had such wealth, such fortune, he did everything. And finally, last 30 years, he's just roaming around in the Vrindavan painting trees. So, this is something amazing. Anyway, Bharat, coming back to Bharat, Bharat is glorified like this in the Ramayana. In fact, in Valmiki Ramayana, one of the things Vali, when he's chastising Ram, when Ram corrects him, when they're having a conversation. So, one of the things Vali says, I can't believe that Bharat's brother can do this. That means the yardstick for good behavior was Bharat. So, like that. But it is also explained by Ramayana commentators that Shatrughna's service is most glorious, more than even Bharat. Because the tapasya, see, Bharat did tapasya, austerities, of staying in the outskirts of Ayodhya. So, Shatrughna was also feeling intense separation from Ram. But he had to do a very different service, because Bharat would not go to the palace. He would not be laughing, smiling and all that. So Shatrughna had to hear all the musicians. He had to encourage all the residents of Ayodhya. So if somebody was playing nice flute and conches and playing music for Shatrughna, for the king, the rituals have to be performed. So Shatrughna would smile at them and say, continue, you are playing very well, practice nicely. Very soon Lord Ram will come back. And then you have to do all this for Lord Ram. So he is miserable internally, but he has to smile all the time and he has to encourage everyone in Ayodhya to do this for Ram. So, Nitya Priti Puraskrita, Nitya Shatrughna. Shatrughna is somebody, the meaning of Shatrughna is somebody who has conquered the biggest enemies. And it is ironical because in the Ramayana we see Shatrughna has not fought any enemies. He has only killed one Asura, Lavanyasur. He is the only one he has killed. But still, he is glorified as someone who has killed the biggest of enemies. It's like, in your book distribution marathon, somebody does one small book and we glorify him as the incarnation of book distribution. And then you come to know that one small book also, he gave it in discount to someone. So you think, how can you glorify him? So Shatrughna has killed only one Asura. How are you calling him as the killer of the greatest demons? Because he conquered the biggest enemy, which is a false ego. Because Lakshman served Lord Ram directly. Lakshman served God. Shatrugna served God's devotee, Bharat. See, it is easy to serve God directly. Difficult to serve God's devotee. That's why his service is considered greater than Bharat's service, Lakshman's service. Because God will always, Radha Gokulam will always smile only, even if you don't go for a few days to temple. Whenever you go, they'll only smile. Even if you've done all nonsense, they'll keep smiling. But devotee will ask you, Prabhu, where are you? Are you in Maya? Devotee will ask you uncomfortable questions. That's why in a community, we have to hold on to devotees more than holding on to Krishna. And that's more difficult. So like that. So that's a lot actually, Rama. I'll pause here. So I want to thank you. So Ramayana is pure nectar. So we can chant 2 verses and then we'll end. You can repeat after me. So this 2 verses reveal what Ramayana is. Kujantam Rama Rameti Maduram Maduraksharam Aruya Kavita Shakam Vande Valmiki Kokilam. So the translation is, I salute Valmiki the nightingale. Vande Valmiki Kokilam. He is the Kokila, nightingale, Kaku. I salute him. What is he doing? Kujantam Rama Rameti. He is singing Rama, Rama, Rama. Maduram Maduraksharam. This Rama Nam is very sweet. And where is he situated, this nightingale, this Kaku bird? Aruya Kavita Shakham. This nightingale is on the tree of poetry. And that nightingale's name is Vande Valmiki Kokilam. For the tree of poetry, there is a beautiful Kaku bird called Valmiki who is singing beautifully sweet names of Rama, Rama. And the very next verse is a paradox. It says, please repeat after me. Valmikir Munir Simhasya Kavita Vanacharita Shinvan Rama Katanadan Konayati Paramgatim. This verse is Valmikir Munir Simhasya. Valmiki is a lion who is roaring. Where is this lion situated? Kavita Vanacharita. There is a forest of poetry. In the forest of poetry, there is a lion called Valmiki. And what is this lion doing? Shinvan Rama Katanadan. He is roaring the name of Ram. And what happens? When the lion roars, all the small animals run away. Konayati Param Gatim. One who hears this roaring of the lion will get the highest destination. Look at the contrast. Can you compare a nightingale, Kaku, with the lion? I mean, how can Valmiki be compared with both? I mean, can Kaku be compared with the lion? Like if you train the lion in Shastri, classical music, will the lion be able to sing one day like the Kaku? Or if you make the Kaku practice, roar like a lion, can the Kaku roar like a lion? Why are they being compared? Because the Ramayana is having both features. Ramayana is very sweet on the literal side. Ramanam is very sweet. But when we go deeper and understand the meaning, it's like the lion roaring. Just like all the small animals run away when the lion roars. When we read Ramayana more deeply, all the anarthas like lust, greed, anger, envy, pride, illusion, they are like jackals, wolves. They run away from the heart, the forest of the heart. So therefore, Ramayana is a very special scripture. We can read and hear Ramayana as much as we want. And we'll never get tired, never get bored. So I will pause here. Thank you very much for hearing Ramayana. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
I'd like to thank Vraja Bihari for having us come and join us today, sharing such wonderful nectar from the Ramayana with us. Three Hari Bol for Prabhuji. Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! So thank all the wonderful devotees for coming today, for coming and join us. It's always nice to see you here. We don't see enough of you. So hopefully we can get some other warm up and come and join us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions? Oh, sorry, yes.
Sorry for the last question. I get the answer, I guess. It appears to me that Valmiki Ramayana is something that we should be reading. But I was just going to ask you that certain times, is there like a ISKCON friendly Ramayana that one should be prioritizing over Valmiki Ramayana? Because I've got a Hindi version of Valmiki Ramayana, but I understand.
If you have some insecurities and fear that you should be not reading anything which is not ISKCON, then you can read Krishna Dharma Prabhu's Ramayana, Bhakti Vikas Swami's Ramayana in English. But we need to also come out of that fearful, insecurity we have. I mean, yeah. I know devotees who are so fanatic about Prabhupada and Krishna consciousness, but they also watch Netflix. But they are not fanatic there. I mean, it's better than watching web series and spending an inordinate amount of time on WhatsApp and social media apps. Better to read. People say Tulsi Ramayana is not bona fide. I say, yeah, better to read Tulsi Ramayana than watch all these mundane YouTube reels. Hare Krishna. Is that okay, Mataji? Krishna Dharma Prabhu and Bhakti Vikas Swami's Ramayana are very nectar, very, very beautiful. I've read them a few times. Both are well written, and they will not. I mean, you will not get bewildered. In the sense, they manage to keep the ISKCON devotee confined to his ISKCON Dharma. Yes, Prabhu.
Many times in the lectures, we hear description false ego. You mentioned this evening once or twice. By mentioning false ego, is there an implication that there is an acceptable ego?
Yes, there is a real ego. The false ego is I am an enjoyer. I am the Lord and Master of everything. I am the greatest. I am the best. So this sense of identity is called false ego. The real ego is I am a servant. I want to give myself to others, living for others, the sense of contribution, the sense of bringing joy, lighting other people's lives, being a cog in the wheel, being part of a bigger plan of the Lord. That is a real ego. Now, like Sankirtan movement, ours is Sankirtan movement. You know what is Sankirtan? What exactly Sankirtan is? Like this is Sankirtan right now. So what's happening is, inadvertently, by taking part in this class, you are declaring your intention to Krishna that I want to be part of a community. I want to be a small person in this community. Lord Chaitanya has already made a big plan to deliver the world, and I want to be a small part in that plan. But the problem happens when, because of false ego, we think, I have come. I will make a plan. I am there to deliver the world. Haribol, Prabhus and Matajis, I am here. That's false ego. But the real ego is, the Lord is making a plan. Let me be an instrument. Let me just do my small bit in this beautiful community of Vaishnavas. Let me serve. Let me give love. That is real ego. So, when we say false ego, we are not denouncing the ego, because the ego cannot be crushed as long as this body is there. Just like mind, intelligence, and is there. Similarly, the ego will also be there. The sense of identity cannot be removed. It has to be purified.
Does that not fall into the description of humbleness? Right?
Yes, humble. Yeah, humble. Humility. That's.
The ego is obviously more.
Sorry? Humility.
I heard humility.
Humility. Yeah, humility, yes. Yes. It's natural for the soul. Prabhupada says, just like sugar is sweet and salt is salty, chili is hot. Similar to the soul is by nature a servant. That's our natural position to serve. And when we don't have, see, why do we keep pets? Everybody is serving. We all like to serve. That's natural. But when we are not connected to the Lord, we'll serve. We'll serve the country, we'll serve our family, we'll keep serving. That's natural for us. But the mood that because even when we are serving in this world, the desire is there to be enjoyed. So why we present Bhakti Yoga, the whole mood is, I want to be reinstated in my original constitutional position that I am a servant of God, and in that mood, I serve everyone, trying to connect everyone to God. That is the platform of real ego. Thank you. Should we stop here or take one last question? Yes, one last question. Yes.
Thank you. Very nice class. I noticed I've not read Ramayana, but I noticed in the journey of Bharat Maharaj and all the Ayodhyavasis to meet Ram, it's very similar to Hanuman crossing the ocean and his journey with things. Is there like an actual from commentaries or acharyas?
I don't know. I haven't read. Yeah, it's an interesting observation. You could explore. I have not read so much commentaries. See, my understanding of Ramayana, I read ValmikiRamayana.net, Krishna Dharma Prabhu's Ramayana, Bhakti Swami's Ramayana, and I hear classes on Ramayana by different devotees. That's the way I understand Ramayana. But what I've learned is, so you could explore this from different commentaries. But Srila Prabhupada's unique understanding of this, Srila Prabhupada had an amazing understanding of Ramayana. He said that Lord Ram teaches us ideal behavior, Maryada Purushottam. So as devotees, as leaders, we should imbibe the mood of Ramayana. And therefore he said, we should have Sita, Ram, Lakshman, Hanuman deities in Washington, D.C. He wanted. Because Washington is the capital of America. And if America was that time kind of the leader of the, even today it's a prominent country. If America is the leader of the world and Washington is the capital of America. So therefore we should have Sita, Ram, Lakshman, Hanuman deities in Washington. Because that will establish the ideal standards for a leader. And then he said, London is not only the capital of England, but London is also that time, London was the main city in Europe. So he said, London, we should have Sita, Ram, Lakshman, Hanuman deities. That's why we have at Manor. And then Srila Prabhupada said, the capital of India is New Delhi. So we should have Sita, Ram, Lakshman, Hanuman deities in New Delhi. And then he said, the financial capital of India is Mumbai. So we should have Sita, Ram, Lakshman, Hanuman deities there also. Because a lot of character and integrity is needed when you are dealing with money, when you are dealing with politics, when you are dealing with... As a leader, we need to have high standards of integrity and honesty and truthfulness. So Srila Prabhupada wanted us to be ideal examples. And Ramayana, Prabhupada had a desire to write commentaries on Ramayana, Mahabharata, Puranas. He couldn't do that. Krishna had other plans for him, but we could. I've read a lot and I've kind of made notes, but I've given a lot of lectures also. But today we focused on Bharat. But there's many other things we could discuss. How there is, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, the 9 limbs of devotional service from Bhagavatam. We have examples. Similarly, in Ramayana, there are 9 different examples for each of this. And they're very beautifully, like for Shravanam, we give the example of Parikshit Maharaj. And in Ramayana, the best example for Shravanam is Hanuman. Because Hanuman asked a blessing from Lord Ram, that please bless me that wherever there is Ram Katha, let me go and hear. So when the Ram Lala temple opened in Ayodhya, so mysteriously in that assembly of all these politicians, everybody was sitting, one monkey came and was running around there. So they thought Hanumanji has come. And I witnessed something very miraculous, very amazing last year. In our temple, Ram Navami festival, our Radha Gopinath Prabhu, the temple president, he gave Ram Navami class. And the class got over at 10:30 in the night. And he came to his room at 10:30 in the night. And generally morning 4:30 is there in the temple hall. And even I am there in the temple hall. All of us are there. But that day, for some reason, the next morning, we didn't go to the temple. We were all there, 5 of us. And at 5 a.m., just when the sun was rising, so we are on the 3rd floor of this building where our ashram is, the senior brahmachari ashram is. And above our floor is a terrace. And the terrace is blocked with a net. No bird or animal or insect can come in. And there's a small steps which one comes down to, one goes up and comes down to dry clothes or whatever. And at 5:30 in the morning, to my great shock, there were 5 of us who saw this. Baldev Prabhu, myself, Guru Gaurang, Radha Gopinath Prabhu himself, one more devotee. A giant monkey, this big size, he comes down the steps and he comes to the 3rd floor and I'm there, I'm shocked. What is this monkey doing here early morning? I've been in the ashram for 25 years, I've never seen a monkey there. And instantly I removed my slippers and I want monkey teri aisi ki taisi. I said, I want to beat this monkey. How dare he come here? And I rushed to attack the monkey and the monkey looked at me as if, dismissively. And he trudged straight. And there are so many things you could have done in that. There is a pantry, a lot of fruits kept, a lot of rooms. Some rooms are open. You could have done anything anywhere. But he walks straight and he stops. And on the right is Radha Gopinath Prabhu's room. And it is open for some reason. And he's taking some medicines. And the monkey looks at him. And raises his hand. And sometimes, I get carried away. I say, he also gave a thumbs up sign. He didn't give a thumbs up sign, but he waved his hand. And then he could have gone ahead. But he turns back. And what does he see? I'm standing there with the chappal. And then he looks at me. And I realize at that moment, something is amiss. Something is not right. Something is happening strange, extraordinarily. And then, as I'm processing it, the monkey walks up to me. My calf muscles. He hits my calf muscles as if, chill man, relax. What are you getting worked up about? And then he continues and he climbs up the stairs again and coolly disappears. And I'm like, Radha Gopinath Prabhu, this was Hanumanji who came to congratulate you for your class because the previous night, Ram Navami day, the entire 2.5 hour class he gave on Sundarkand. And then he said, no, this is a monkey which has come from the governor's bungalow. I said, wait. I said, Radha Gopinath Prabhu, you've been here for how many years? He said, he's there since 1988. So he said, that's how many years? 34 years? He said, in the last 34 years, how many times have you seen a monkey here? He said, 0. And then, how do you explain that this monkey has come here when everything is blocked? And we have never seen a monkey before, and we'll never see a monkey after, I assure you. And since then, last 1.5 years, we've not seen any monkey there. Where did this monkey come from? And it's all net covered. And why did it come only now, after the Ram Navami, to congratulate you? And why did the monkey, I gave him 15 reasons, logically. Why did it stop here outside your room? And why did the monkey not go ahead? Why did he wave at you? And why did he turn back? And why, all those logical explanations I gave, and then he just humbly put his head down and said, I'm actually feeling very encouraged. Maybe Lord Ram has sent this monkey. I feel encouraged and loved. So I was like amazed. And when I told this to the brahmacharis, everybody was happy because, it's amazing. Then I went and told my Guru Maharaj, I thought my Guru Maharaj should endorse my theory. Then I can make it public. So I said, Maharaj, this monkey, Maharaj said, I have never seen a monkey here. I've been here for so long. I said, Maharaj, so it is Hanuman. So I wanted Maharaj to say, yes, it is Hanuman. But he didn't say that. He kept saying, it's amazing. Radha Gopinath Prabhu is a saint. He's beautiful. So I said, yes, Maharaj. So it was Hanumanji who came. Maharaj didn't say it is Hanumanji. Maharaj kept saying, wow, what a wonderful incident. But I wanted him to say, it was Hanuman. He never said that. And in the end, when I was going, Maharaj said, thank you for sharing this. Such a beautiful. I said, Maharaj, so it was Hanuman? Maharaj knew that I want him to say it was Hanuman. So Maharaj said, So I said, Maharaj, so it is confirmed, it is Hanumanji? Maharaj said, you light fire on his tail, you will know. You put fire on his tail, you will know whether he is Hanuman. And then he started laughing. So I can't catch my Guru Maharaj and I can't put words in his mouth and then I would have broadcasted it everywhere. So then I went back to Radha Gopinath Prabhu and told him this is the karma reaction. Because, whenever I used to appreciate Radha Gopinath Prabhu on his birthday or something, he would dismiss many of the incidents and pastimes. He would say, Radha Bihari was always spinning a yarn, he lies. So now, this incident happened, I told Radha Gopinath Prabhu, now you cannot deny this. Krishna arranged this because you always accuse me of lying. Now, this incident has happened with 4 other witnesses and you also saw it. So now you can't say that Braj Bihari is lying. But the point is, it gave me a lot of faith. Now, whether you say it's Hanuman or not Hanuman, let's keep that aside. What happens to our consciousness? I'll tell you what happened to my consciousness. So in our temple, we have Hanumanji deity. So when I go for Mangalarti and we pay obeisances, nowadays when I look at Hanumanji, I am there. I have come. I suddenly become conscious that it's Hanumanji. Hanumanji is there. He is watching. I'm like, and then Radha Gopinath Prabhu and myself, we are part of the same temple council, care body. So we have meetings every Tuesday, and we have altercations. I mean, it happens in every, like, we have differences of opinion, and he's a little, traditional school values, and I'm like, we need to compromise certain things and all that. We discuss typical management meetings and council meetings. So sometimes I don't like what he says, and I'm like upset. And then I look at, and then I tell myself, oh, he's very dear to Hanumanji. Don't fool around with him. He's like, he's someone, Lord, Hanuman just come to see him. So, okay, Prabhu, I don't agree with you, but I'll follow what you say. Because you are dead. So it makes us conscious of the Lord. So, but I am convinced it is Hanumanji. Hare Krishna. We'll stop here. It's 9:15 now. I have to. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Shri Ramchandra Bhagwan ki jai.